August 31st, 2025. Just for the hell of it, I'll just describe you all my human observations. I have over 32,000 observations total. 113 of them are human. So I'll just describe to you what they are. This is from January 2022. It's a human footprint in the mud and here's another human footprint in the mud from February that month, because a lake here that is usually home to so many fucking species got completely dried up because one of the walls that held in the water fucking broke. So over months it was draining and draining until all that was left was a mud flat. So I observed the human footprints in the mud that had once been completely underwater to fucking archive that moment in fucking time, even if it's a fucking human. Because most of the, there were literal dead ducks because there was no water. All the fish died. Here's some garbage in a creek that I uploaded because I can't get to it, so I can't fucking do it. Here's a sign that's supposed to say, no fishing from dock. Somebody scribbled out the no, so people fish from there anyways. Here's another. Now you'll notice the mud is dried as of March 2022 for this lake that dried up. So now it is a dried shoe print in the mud. March 2022, again, another human footprint in the fucking mud of this lake. You can see how deep it goes down. Some clothes people had thrown. Another footprint. This one is marked human just to show, because I couldn't tell what those plants were yet, so I could probably even put this as dog fennel now that I retroactively know those are dog fennel seedlings, because that took over the entire dried lake bed. Art I put on my fucking arm. Hole in the fence, presumably made by a person. I don't know if a deer could do that. These are tire tracks in the mud here, the grass here along the side of the hill that always fill up with rain. There weren't any dragonflies or tadpoles visible in them that time, so I marked it human because they're tire tracks. This, I literally couldn't tell if it was like a weird dead jellyfish or a piece of plastic, but I'm pretty sure it is plastic. This is showing a sign for new hiking trails that they are lying. They're not hiking trails, they're deer trails. They didn't even do anything at that point, but they put up a sign to say that these are a thing now. So that's why that's there. Again, just showing the entire dried lake bed, now getting cracky. This one.
When people uploading selfies and pictures of
literally, and human observations are literally allowed. They literally let you do this.
You go to the human page, and there's everybody just posting pictures. They're posting selfies. They're posting pictures of art they've made.
Like, you're literally allowed to do this.
They wouldn't allow modern human observations.
Here's this. This is me with a little fucking hand brush that I brought there with my bicycle, because these are pig nut hickory nuts that fall down on this single sidewalk, and nobody ever cleans them. The city doesn't do it. So I had to ride there on my bicycle with this little broom and sweep them out of the way myself so that nobody would step on one like in a goddamn cartoon gag and trip on them like they're marbles and break their fucking neck. I had to do that, so I labeled it human. I also have a matching observation for the hickory tree that dropped all of these. Here's this. This is actually where I upload multiple things for humans, so that, because you can add photos into comments on other observations, but you have to have a link for the image. So this is where I put little tutorial things so that I can put them in other people's observations so they can learn how to do stuff like checking observations captive, because I don't have a Flickr or whatever the hell account. This one I put here for the fucking irony and obnoxiousness. This is the day I just randomly found a whole bunch of Little Caesars pizzas just thrown on the side of the road. It was weird. I don't know what the hell was just flabbergasting. This is me doing this so I could keep track of the plant phenology charts, for I'm gonna presume those are the entire genus for pawpaws. This is to document the fact that this used to be a regular drainage ditch, but then something fucking happened and it all collapsed in on itself. There were a whole bunch of Florida gar that lived in here, but then all of this concrete, I don't know if somebody dumped it there on purpose or if it had been buried under the ground and then water swept away the dirt or what. But, like, this was, like, little catastrophe for this ditch. And I've never seen any of the Florida Gar there again. So this is just to fucking archive this moment in time as context for you'll never see me observing Florida Gar here again unless they somehow decide to come back. It also, like, almost completely blocked off the drainage from this into the little creek over there. So now any animals that came in at this point, that was in 2023, they can't get back out again the way they could before. This is just a very dramatic picture of a book in the woods. This I genuinely couldn't tell. It did turn out to be a fake tale, but, like, I was like, it seems fake to me, but I don't know, it could be fucking real. This was an optical illusion of a fucking boat in the distance, like a ghost boat. It looked like it was floating. I forget the name of that fucking thing. This was a fake bird that tricked me until I got to actually look at it. This is to show that people are putting out food for the feral cats. This was just me having fun with Pokemon Go. This is because nobody has ever made a public domain frickin' thing of Asimina piedmontana flowers, and I have it marked human because I haven't actually been able to see the flowers myself, so I didn't want to misrepresent it, but this way I can copy the image link and add this to other people's observations to show them that the flower they took a picture of, or if they're asking about the hybrid, it means I can paste this image in to demonstrate. This is to complain about the fact there's no fucking sidewalk or crosswalk there. This is at our community garden that we stopped going to because it turned out to be a scam. We were starting a whole bunch of stuff. Again, this is for the little elephant path that all the poor people have to fucking trod into the grass next to the woods because there's no sidewalk. This I meant to take a picture of something, but then it disappeared. So I'm like, alright, well, it just looks cool. Here's the one that iNaturalist staff right now, August 1st, 2023, are claiming is belittling staff. You'll notice this is from May 2023. This is when the iNaturalist staff decided they were going to double down for weeks upon saying that misgendering is totally a-okay as long as they, cis people, decide for themselves that misgendering is actually not misgendering, while literally suspending and censoring actual trans people and our allies who were explaining to them, that's misgendering, you literally don't get to decide that's not misgendering, that's not how this fucking works. And then Cithali, or Cithali, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, it's like an acronym, is today, right now, 2 years later, claiming that this is belittling to staff members, and then literally misgendered me in the exact same thing where they said that. You can't make this shit up. This is human. This is the trap I set up to catch our cute little feral kitty cats, which we successfully did. There's a string tied to the door of the cat carrier, and then it goes through there, and then I would sit on the other side of the yard out of sight and pull on it to close it when the cat went in, and what do you know, it worked. This is human to document a brand new sign that they had put up at the little landing thingy-majiggy. This I just thought was fucking hilarious. And again, all of these observations are allowed. You are allowed to upload things like this to iNaturalist. There's no rule against uploading things about human. The only rule is you can't have it be the majority of your observations. Like, you can't just start a new account and upload all of these things and have nothing that's actual, quote-unquote, actual nature. Like, this is 100% allowed.
When you're done doing that, showing yours, just go to the worldwide thing and just show all the amazing, beautiful people posting selfies.
Yep.
And posting art and posting graffiti.
This is a photo outside a car to show the, like, I forget the name of that Dr. Seuss movie, but it's like beyond parody how evil the size of this warehouse is. It's like you take a giant Walmart times like 50 and it's probably still smaller than this warehouse, and they cut down like miles of forest to build it, and it's like literally fucking disgusting. This is so that I could have a flippin' map marker for reference for the rest of my observations when we went to wherever this was. I don't even remember where it was, but they had a "You Are Here" sign, so I uploaded that so that when I was uploading the rest of my observations of the actual plants and animals, I could have a reference point, because the map is not updated well. This is just to make fun of this ridiculous little bumper sticker. Skilled labor isn't cheap. Cheap labor isn't skilled. And it's like, and like, even my mom and stepdad were like, well, that's not really true, because my mom's an artist, and my stepdad's like, but if you just make something for somebody and you don't charge them a lot just to be nice, that doesn't mean it's not skilled. And it's like, yeah, man, yeah, you actually grasp that, don't you? This one was because we had to fight the city like multiple times to get them to actually get out here physically and look at the fucking plants we have been sending them warnings about, because they were literally dragging down the telephone lines. And the first few times we sent in things, they were like, oh yeah, we already checked that a few years ago, it's totally fine. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You need to get somebody actually out here to look at it. Don't just do a fucking robot thing. So then they finally did come out and realize, oh, that's really fucking dangerous. Yeah, we'll cut those down. So this was after all the plants that were literally dragging the telephone lines out of the sky were chopped down. So that was to commemorate that. This is some graffiti, delightful graffiti, that I took a picture of. Somebody made a poll for who's queer, and then somebody first wrote in the maybe section, but then they later crossed that out and put it over here in the yes section. So that was in September 2023 that we found that. Here's more of the graffiti, various characters and stuff. This is just sound of like indistinct speaking of a crowd at a flea market, which I thought was cool, and people can use it for video games. You can't actually understand anything anybody's saying. Just some cool beaded thingamajiggies with dragons on them. This is another update to that drainage ditch I showed before. You can see the grass and dirt is covering up the concrete, and somebody cleared some of it, so now it can actually flow properly again. That's to show that update. Giant. You can't see the scale, but this is a giant lean-to somebody had made in the woods at one of the parks we went to, probably just for fun. A whole bunch of like perfectly good plant pots that somebody just threw into the fucking woods. I don't know why they would do that. If you ever like do a landscaping thing and you have so many plant pots like this left over, I hope you know you can sell those and people will buy them from you. People will travel to buy those from you. Like a long time. Like there were so many plant pots here. They're in stacks, so you can't really see how many there are, but they were like people who garden, they always need plant pots. And they will fucking buy them, especially when they're nursery pots like this, because they're really good. This was in complaint of this ridiculous locked fence at Joseph Tribble Park, because you know that's when I showed that they're claiming to have put in hiking trails. They're just deer trails. And they don't tell you anywhere how long the one you're in is going to go. So it seems like it would only take like 10 minutes and then you're still on it 40 minutes later, and there's no way to get back to the actual park. And they have this fence there, also owned by the city, but they just have it locked. So you're on this ridiculously long, not even a hiking trail, it's a deer trail, and you can't get back to the actual park where they have the fucking water fountain and shade, because they have this gate that goes nowhere except between the hiking trail and the park, and they just have it locked. Because fuck you. Also, we literally carefully stalked with photos this fucking fake turkey for several minutes, like 10 minutes, because the way the sunlight was shining through the trees and making all the branches and stuff move, we genuinely couldn't tell if this was a real turkey that was just standing really still because it noticed us, or fake. It did turn out to be fake. It's a fake turkey, but it tricked us for like 10 minutes. This one I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure it was like a raccoon, but everybody decided it was human. There were little scuffed track marks in the pollen. This one, what is that? I don't know why this one's marked human. It's for a plant. Somebody wrote Taylor Swift at the beach, which I just thought was funny. Human footprint at the beach, along with some doggy footprints. This funny one, a button of Mickey Mouse saying, "I'm public domain and there's nothing Disney can do about it. Viva la public domain!" This was to show at like Trader Joe's or something like that they had a bunch of plants for sale, so I can remember that they get them in stock in February. I don't actually know what it's called. It might not be Trader Joe's. This one I was trying to get pictures of fish, but it didn't work. So it's just marked human because there's nothing actually to see there. This is me just showing off some crochet pride hats I made, including a trans pride flag one, random other audio thingamajiggy. This is to commemorate being revealed that fucking Supreme Tradition, aka Dollar Tree things, their cinnamon sugar, they put lead in it. So, yeah, fuck poor people. We're all just getting lead poisoning because we're too poor to buy cinnamon sugar from somewhere that's not the Dollar Tree. So they put lead in it. So this is to commemorate that. More graffiti. Somebody wrote ACAB and then somebody else tried to gouge that out, and then maybe the same person, maybe somebody else just wrote ACAB back on top again, which is funny. This is a hacky sack that I made with crochet just to show people. I just thought this was really cool. Let me fucking click on it. Somebody spilled their soda on the beach, and just like the pattern it made on the sand was very interesting and bubbly. I just thought it was cool. Like, it just looks like a cool paint splatter. This is to show the cool fort thingy, like the brickwork and stuff. Also, the reason I'm uploading many of these is because I have all my photos on here set to public domain, so people can use these photos of this brickwork to do stuff. This is just a fucking beautiful photo of the sunset I got. There's multiple there. This is a cool Halloween mask that turns rainbow when you use flash, I think. This is ridiculously not cleared sidewalk because after Hurricane Helene, they only cleared the roads and then shoved everything onto the sidewalk because they hate pedestrians. This is showing that they put in a traffic circle, or at least it's not a proper traffic circle, but at least kind of acts like one. One of these is not meant to be here because one of them is meant to be for the plant I was holding up. Or maybe it's just a duplicate by accident. This is for the trails, so I can have a map marker for reference for the rest of them. And there was only one pawpaw on the pawpaw loop, and they should just call it the persimmon loop because there were common persimmons literally everywhere. More audio. Oh, another update for that drainage ditch that you first saw completely covered in rubble. Now it's again covered in greenery. Still haven't found any gar there, though. A sign they put up at that place explaining stuff about the slim leaf pawpaw, of which we only saw one, and it was in the middle of the path getting trampled. So, not a very good pawpaw loop. This is to show the brand new fucking sidewalk that they put in at a place where they cut down the woods. So sucks to be the deer that lived there. And then they still haven't actually finished making the houses. But they did put a sidewalk that again leads to nowhere, where there is no sidewalk, even though people still need to walk that way. So, the moral of the story is only rich people get sidewalks, because these are going to be houses for rich people when they do anything with them. This is just generic pictures, all the various pictures that didn't actually contain a specific species at... Where was that? I don't remember. This is me counting things. So that's 6. I had to do that for timestamps and things. This is the time they randomly, like, had a bulldozer over there. So we were really hoping it wouldn't, what didn't mean they were going to be digging up the forest there. It wasn't. They just got in trouble for something else. So, yay! This is geese repellents, supposed to be geese repellents that they put at Joseph Tribble Park when they fixed the lake and let it refill with water. And I posted this because I'm pissed off because it's a nature park. The geese live there. They have their fucking babies there. And then people have the gall to try and drive them away with these stupid geese repellent things that probably cost the city more than it would to just send somebody out like once a week to just spray off the sidewalk with a hose or a broom to get rid of the goose poop. Like, they're not even there all year. But they were saying that people were complaining about goose poop on the sidewalk, and it's like, okay, the geese literally belong there too. Just get somebody with the hose once a week. Also, these don't actually work, so ha ha ha. Also, some of my human audio observations, it might have been me attempting to get a audio of something else. Here's just my shadow because I thought it looked interesting and I took that picture by accident. This was these two are map markers so I could put the rest of my observations for wherever the heck we were in the proper area on the map. I think this is just a duplicate, so I'll delete that one. Yeah, why are we doing duplicates? This is for a fucking safety hazard. This is at some campground in Florida. I don't remember what it's called. This is me standing up on a deck that leads to the bathrooms. There's no ramp, so they're violating the ADA. In general, there's no ramp to get up to the bathroom. So if you are in a wheelchair where you can't climb stairs for any other reason, you can't go to the fucking bathroom. And also, there is no railing here, even though that is like a 6-foot drop. You can't see from this photo, but like, I reported the fucking park for violating the ADA and just basic safety hazards. It's literally a 6-foot drop. There's not that much space between this drop and the bathroom doors, and also people get drunk there. So you are going to have a lawsuit on your hands when somebody comes out of the bathroom and trips off of that at night. It's just basic safety hazards, and I genuinely cannot fucking believe that was allowed to get built without her having a railing attached from the start. That was just fucking absurd, like a literal 6-foot drop. This is just a whole bunch of cool pictures I got of our campfire while we were camping there. Picture of the sign at Santa Fe Park so I could again have a map marker to put the rest of the stuff around. Here's a fake jackalope because I thought it was delightful. This is an open manhole cover I found at the park. It's just very fucking disturbing. No, there should be no, and I reported this to the city multiple times and then they just never closed it, and it's like, do you want somebody to fall in there? Do you want a deer to fall in there? This is just cool. Our little solar lamps glowing in the pitch black of the dark. Thought that was cool. Another sign, a very big map of the river. This is a map I scribbled of all of the Arundinaria native canes at Joseph Tribble Park. There's a lot of them, and just like the X's mark where I found some, and then the green squiggles is kind of how much area they take up. This is documenting when they tried to remove the graffiti on the bench that you've seen below by like power washing it or something. So all the gray stuff is what had been dyed gray by the sun, bleached gray by the sun, and then the fresh is where they power washed it. So that's to show that all the old graffiti got erased. This one I meant to be taking a picture of a bird, but it literally flew out of frame, so it's just a pretty picture of the sunset now. This is showing that they added a measuring stick to the lake that had gotten completely dried up. So I took a picture on March 2025 to show how deep the water was, as opposed to being non-existent. This was delightful. I'm not even gonna say what it is. If you know, you know, and it's delightful. This was at Lowe's. This was an explanation for why those bulldozers were over there before, because they got in trouble for digging up in a creek that they weren't supposed to be doing. Here's a picture of there's 10 gallons of trash that I picked up out of the woods and off the side of the road. This is an attempted, it's not successful, little elephant path through the grass because there's no sidewalk, even though people need to walk down there. Various crochet patterns from the back of yarn balls because I always forget to post them somewhere, so I'm like, alright, people on iNaturalist will like them. Here's the end of a sidewalk that leads nowhere, despite there being a little ramp and a crosswalk, so it's like, so if you're in a wheelchair, you just can't go any further, and it's ridiculous. And it's not like, you don't need to have 5 lanes of cars. Get rid of one of them and put a sidewalk. Various glass and porcelain whatever jars I found in the woods. I actually still have to pick them up because they're heavy and they're glass, so I can't just put them all in a bag. At some point I'm going to go back there when there's not mosquitoes and get them and put out front for free. Oh yeah, here's that brand new sidewalk where it ends abruptly, even though people still need to walk that way, but they're just not going to give you a sidewalk. Somebody put out things for collecting yellow-legged hornets and hung them from trees. Just a very fancy picture of the sun through the clouds. My ancient MP3 player. This MP3 player is 18 years old and it's still alive. Picture of the clouds doing a weird wibbly-wobbly thingy. New graffiti! Also new graffiti. And this is a place marker for as far as I managed to go into a path on the woods before having to turn back because the person driving me was getting impatient. So that way I know how far I got the first time. And then finally, this one, the one they are all really mad about. Showing that they silenced me in the forums and claimed I was too combative because I pointed out that somebody making a post saying, oh, if you hate generative AI so much, then just delete your whole iNaturalist account now. And then one of the staff members liked that post instead of doing anything else with it. And that has directly led to 5 people that I know of personally deleting their accounts. Like, not even just the comment itself, but the fact that a staff member left a heart on it and approved of it. So it's like, congratulations. Anyways, yeah. Certain people on iNaturalist, like Zoology 123, are claiming that my human observations, 113 of them, out of a grand total, actually, let's set this to show everybody's. Let's see all the human observations in the world. There's 141,711, and it's a lot of people taking selfies and having fun. We'll just scroll down a bit. See? Like, it's literally just people having fun. Yeah, literally, look at all the beautiful people. Including a fucking mural. Like, they let you do this on purpose. Because humans are part of nature. Somebody really wants to show off their car, I guess. Somebody making a funny face. Like, there's either people making really funny faces, or just, where did my mouse go? I'm trying not to jump up. Like, people post pictures of their friends. Somebody has pictures of toy snakes. Another person posting pictures of litter. Somebody's fancy picture of a barn. Yeah, they let you do this. And I wouldn't be uploading observations of human things if it weren't allowed, but it is. The only requirement is that it not be the majority of your observations, and at 113 out of 113 out of 32,061. Alright, be that way. I'll even be nice and I'll just make it a flat 32,000. That's what that number is. That's what the percent is. 0.003% of my observations are human. But certain people who think that human observations shouldn't be allowed at all, even though they are, have decided that this means I have a pattern of uploading extraneous things, and it's like, it's literally 0.003. Let's look what the oldest one is for all the human observations in the world. Somebody posted it. I don't think that dates are correct. Date observed, sending. It's not 2026. How are you posted from the future? Can we scroll? See, there's pictures from 1954 right here that people have uploaded. Somebody posing in a cave. Somebody got a picture of the fucking sun. Soldiers or camp. A Furby. Like, all of these are allowed, except for the ones that are copyrighted media, and they get the copyrighted media removed. Painting. I don't know what that is. Draft cards or something? There's something. Some roses. Art. Somebody doing a tier list. Chicken. Statue. Like, yeah. Somebody photoshopping the baby bird to have only one comically large leg instead of two because its legs are comically large. Yeah, all of these are literally allowed, but certain people are claiming that because I have 0.03% of my observations of human, that means that I have a pattern of uploading things that are detrimental to the site. And it's like, that's like, no. And I have over 32,000 observations. I have over 110,000 annotations, 30,000 identifications. And it's like, either human observations are allowed and I'm allowed to upload them too. You cannot just fucking single me out. Ooh, look, somebody getting pictures of stuff at a market. Yeah, they were also complaining that I was taking pictures of produce, appropriately marking it captive, because it is, at a grocery store, a cool Asian market, because I wanted to document all this cool fucking shit they had. Like Arrowhead, Sagittaria, something or other. And they were complaining that these were inappropriate, and it's like, it's literally a captive plant, a thing that you're also allowed to upload, because even captive plants help you with identification, because you know for sure what most captive plants are. Is that a dinosaur statue? We're clicking on this. Yeah, that's a dinosaur statue. That's cool as hell. Oh, Dinosaur Provincial Park. Alright. That's cool. But anyways, yeah. Oh, somebody else, see? Somebody else is uploading a structure made in the woods. Somebody's clubhouse. Alright. Yep, that's it. My phone's getting hot. Bye-bye.